Here are 3 myths you need to stop believing about retirement travel. Number 1, that retirement travel is going to be completely stress-free. Number 2, retirement travel, if you travel alone, you'll be lonely. And myth number 3, retirement travel means slowing down. I have been traveling for over 40 years. I've been to 85 countries, all 50 states, and I've been retired now almost 7 years. So let me tell you about the reality of retirement travel versus what people really think it is. Before retirement, I thought, oh, it would be so great not to have to go back to work after this trip. I thought retirement travel would be stress-free. I would have no worries. I would just lounge. Everything would go smoothly because I wouldn't have work hanging over my head anymore. Well, let me tell you, travel comes with complications, no matter what. The difference with retirement travel is that you're no longer stressed about getting back for work. The problems don't disappear. It's just that your attitude changes. Let me give you an example. There was one year while I was still working, and I usually go every Christmas to visit my family in Michigan. Well, that year, Michigan got snowed in, no flights in or out of Detroit Metro for 3 days. I was panicking. I had projects to complete. I was worried about using up my limited vacation days. Luckily, during that particular fiasco, I had brought my work computer, and my boss authorized me to work remotely for those 3 days. Now, if my flight gets canceled, so what? I just hang out with the family a little longer. I don't have to stress about getting back to work. Weather happens, flight delay, I book a hotel, order dinner. Delays in retirement are just a plot twist. And even Ed doesn't get fairy tale travel all the time. Myth number 2, that you'll be lonely if you travel alone as a retired person. I am surprised in the Facebook groups I belong to how many people are worried about this. If you don't want to be completely alone, you can go on a tour. There'll be other people there. But as an independent traveler, I find almost the exact opposite. I'm not lonely because I have to talk to strangers to get the information I need. I trust myself. I see more. I look around more. I'm friendlier. Let me give you another example. I was in Budapest, Hungary, and I wanted to go see the Hungarian Parliament building, which is the #1 tourist attraction in Budapest. And I made a huge mistake. I did not book a tour ticket in advance. I get there, I see a line wrapped 3 times around the block. Don't know what I'm going to do, but I see another Black woman in line. So I go up to her and I ask her how she got her ticket. She had booked in advance, and these were time tickets. But luckily, I was able to get a ticket for a tour in French, and I speak enough French to understand what was going on. I got my ticket. I chatted with the woman for a little bit, found out her name was Anita, and that she is from a suburb of Dallas, where I used to live. But her tour was starting, and we didn't really have time to exchange numbers or talk any further. I looked for her after the tour, but she wasn't there. Now get this. I'm on the next part of my trip, In Split, Croatia, Anita walks into the restaurant where I'm having lunch. We realized then that this was meant to be, and we sat down and ate and exchanged full names and numbers. And now we are still friends. And every time I go to Dallas, I try to catch up with her. I think the reality is that travel alone in retirement doesn't isolate you. It actually helps you meet new people. And now that you're retired and traveling by yourself, you don't have to worry about what do the kids want to do on this trip? What does the spouse want to do? It is all about you. What do you want to do on your trip? That is powerful. And Ed the Explorer never complains about the itinerary. Third myth of retirement is that you'll have to slow down. Okay, I have a few more aches and pains than I did years ago, and I have trouble lifting a suitcase into the overhead bin. So now I pack differently and I check a bag. But the reality is that you can choose your own pace. If this is something silly I did when I was 24 and I worked for the airlines. My boyfriend and I went to Tokyo, Japan from Detroit, 13-hour flight, and stayed 3 days. 3 days. And flew back and went to work the next day. I thought that was cool. Sleep when you're dead was our attitude. See everything, do everything, check off the bucket list. No, that was exhausting and crazy. Now I take my time. If I go back to Japan, you better believe I'm going to stay longer than 3 days. Now I go on 2-week cruises. Now, if I want to lay by the pool and relax all day, skip dinner, that's what I do. I can afford to splurge. The difference in retirement isn't that you're hopping from place to place. It's that you get to choose where you want to go and how long you'll stay. As a retiree, I suggest you can still travel far and wide. You can meet new and interesting people, and you can develop your trip to be an experience that fits. That is the reality of travel in retirement. And luckily, Ed is a very easy travel companion. Are you team sleep when you're dead or team lay by the pool all day? Drop me a comment and let me know.